Hello. Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. How are you, Ralf?
I'm
Everything
good. How
okay?
are you?
I'm great. Are you in Berlin?
I'm in Berlin, kind of.
Kind of north,
I'm in
south?
Berlin Buch. It's a
In the
little.
wood.
It's actually at the very end of Berlin. It's very close to the border to Brandenburg.
Which side and
It's in
west?
the north.
North.
Yeah. So there's it's Pankow.
Yeah.
There is how to say Prenzlauer Berg.
Yeah.
Um, what is that? So then yeah, Pankow, and then Französisch Buchholz, and
Mm-hmm.
then the last part is Buch. Yeah, so it's just 5 minutes walk to Brandenburg, which is the neighbor state of Berlin. So we're surrounded by forests. We're snowed in actually. It's pretty white.
Yeah. Here also.
It looks like it's Christmas soon again.
It's finally Christmas,
Yeah,
you mean?
it's
I hope it's gonna be like this for the next 2 weeks. Then we can go back to normal life. Everybody can stay at home for
that's
once. For once in the city.
that's true. Then it's
Two
actually not.
weeks be snowed in. It's all right. It's all
Yeah,
good.
it's a natural lockdown and not a forced lockdown. Makes it easier to accept.
I mean, I look outside and I'm like, I can go walk around a little bit. It's nice, but then you go back because it's still cold. It's not so easy even to do sports,
Yeah.
But here I'm in the center. I'm where it says Berlin on the Google Maps exactly where
Mhm.
it says Berlin. So from what I can see, it's nothing. It's only snow out. You can really
Yeah.
see it. Maybe I can do like this.
Yeah,
It's very white.
I lived in Berlin Mitte. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we still have our office and studio in Berlin Mitte. I
You're
also
using it now?
have my own apartment, but I'm a family man now. I got kids.
So this is what it means to have kids, to go away from the city?
Yes, actually, it's good to go away from the city center for a while and enjoy the nature and the quiet area. And to be honest, I also don't want to pay 3,000 euro for a
Big
four-room apartment
yeah.
that looks like a bird cage. Yeah, and so we have a garden here, and it's just beautiful. It's like an own house, and we were very lucky to
Yeah.
have found this. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a few people that did the same kind of move. I mean, I don't know.
I think this is the new gentrification.
It's
We
the opposite of yeah, you're taking
no,
over
no, we were
old people places.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, you're just becoming older and it's okay.
We were not the first like having this idea. So we arrived here like
No.
1.5 year ago, and it's getting busy here actually. Yeah. So everybody is like looking for houses and apartments here, and people are tired of city center life
Yeah. I don't
and
understand why. It's
the
Berlin.
high
It's not
rents and
yeah.
a few other things, and then of course it's a question of age. When I'm 20 something, I want to go out every weekend, and it
Yeah.
makes sense to be to live in the epicenter of party and everything. But I don't know, at one point.
It reminds me always the questions of if you live in Manhattan and then you get older and you move to Jersey and stuff like this. I wouldn't want to do it. I'm not going out, but I like the fact that I can walk down to
Uh,
have like some kind of life. I'm guessing when you have kids and whatever, so it's different. But at the same time, I mean, as you talked about the mayhem, but Berlin is such a quiet city.
it is.
Like Mitte is like it's like a village. In the past couple of years, yeah, it's been packed with tourists and was very, it wasn't so much fun to walk around all day. But now it's time to come back.
Yeah, especially since we don't have any tourists in town.
Perfect. Now it's time. I have to say that the before the whole kind of I wasn't here for most of the time, but when I came back from September till the beginning of November, I had one of the best times I've had in Berlin. Not
Okay.
going out, of course, not this, but being able to be part of the city and not just be
Yeah.
a kind of I just live here,
You
I
look
just have a
healthy.
house.
You look healthy.
try. I do my best. That's the only thing I can do, really,
Yeah.
just to take care of myself. The rest is not up to us anymore.
Yeah, thanks for having me at your show. Thanks for the invitation. Very
Of
interesting.
course, always love to hear what you guys are doing. You've been around in the business for you, and are you and Anya still running it, or is it only?
It's just me now. Anya decided to step back and started her own new venture. She has her own label called Seuss Records,
Mm-hmm.
and she just wanted to focus on her DJ career. And she's a very successful radio host and is doing podcasts now. She's very busy and doing some great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mobilely, so after 15 years, it became quite big. We started like as a little label.
Yeah.
Then so I don't know. It grew to like it was a booking agency. We did our own events, showcases. We had a PR on board, and we did management for the artists we were working with. Blah blah blah. So it was very big. And then we had like I don't know 6, 7, 8 artists we worked very closely with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then these artists they also defined the sound color of the label.
Yeah.
Yeah? And of course, there was a variety of music happening. But Anya was always kind of like identified with this. It was sometimes very difficult for her to create her own artist identity, with her like DJ sets, the music she really likes and selects, and so that was one of the reasons why she also decided to try something new on her own, and yeah,
This
without.
this is something I always ask people. You look like a person that could be honest and say, but let's be honest. We can take Anya as an example, or we can take about a lot of other artists.
Yeah,
Why can't they just be themselves in the place that they created? I mean, why can't you be yourself in the house, in your own house, even if you changed? That's what I ask. I mean, if today I'm releasing, if tomorrow we want to do pop music on Disco Halal as Moscow Man, why won't I do it?
yeah,
It's my house. I have my fans. Why do I need to create? If you were talking about Disco Halal before and you say in the last few years there was an impact, I feel like because I've always created, something new, always brought something new and extra. So it became a point for me that I'm like, okay, it's not because that's what I'm trying to do. It's just because this is what I like now.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
but then I think the main difference is that you're running it on your own and you're taking the decision on your own.
Yeah.
Right? And if you have a big team, if you have like 4 or 5 people working for you, and then and also like Anya and I were partners,
Yeah.
So and then there is a lot of interests you are automatically taking care about. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then creative decisions shouldn't be a compromise.
Yeah.
I think a creative decision should be like just like, okay, that's the way and that's my idea, that's what I feel, and that's it. And if you make like compromises in creativity and creative decisions, then I don't know, you're like wobbling around a little bit. Maybe that happened to us sometimes in
Yeah.
between. And so like I don't know, maybe I think we had a great time. We were very successful, but I'm actually also very very thankful for this. I was also forced to rethink and to start again from scratch in a way. Yeah? So I had to build up like or I had the motivation also to build up my new network and find new artists and redefine the
Yeah.
sound of the label as well. And we didn't know where this is all like ending up or like going to. So I'm happy that we are still relevant after so many years, and also with all the changes we went through. Um, and yeah,
What do you think was the beginning sound for yourself, for you, that you're like a leading actor in this, and what do you think is the sound that you're pushing forward to? I mean, if you are thinking the beginning with I don't know, from people from Penpot or Gumiert and Anya, and all the local people from here,
yeah.
you know how is it compared to today? You know, I mean, is the sound that still works for you, or is it
So
the history? It's part of the label, but it's your history.
yeah, it's part of the label. It's our history, and I was thinking about that a lot in the past years. So how did I change? How did my maybe my music taste change, or my or the way of music consumption actually?
Mhm.
So you mentioned the right names. Panpot in the beginning was one of the leading figures, and also defining the sound of the label. Beside Anya herself, beside Zibo K,
Mhm.
and a few others. And but that also already proves like that we went in so many different directions. You know, Panprod is like they're the big techno artists right now. You know,
Yeah.
Bouquet is like a very it's a deep house producer with like high reputation worldwide. And
Yeah.
so it's like so it's a huge difference between these artists. And but at that time, I liked all of that music. This is, and in a way, this is also like when Anya and I started the label. Like we didn't start. We our background. We are ravers actually.
Yeah.
We are coming from the party. Yeah. So we are not producer nerds. Yeah, we are not like somebody who has a very clear idea about a sound. You know, like Rich Horton, for example, and his label Ventures, or a few others. So we were open for a lot of different styles, because this is how we grew up with electronic music. You know, when I discovered electronic music or techno in the beginning, in the mid 90s, like I went to a club and danced to break beats. Another weekend I danced to trance music, and then there was hard techno, and everything happened at the same time. Yeah, or like shortly after. And I think that was our influence at the beginning. And then, of course, like once you have the first success, there's so much input coming from all sides. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of inspiration. You're growing, and then I don't know, a lot of things are just happening. And if I compare this time, or like let's say the past years, to what I'm doing right now, what I like now, and this is what's very interesting what you just said, that you're into pop music right now. You want to do pop music, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think like the A&R decisions I'm taking today or these days, they're mainly based on my own music taste, yeah. And this is defined also by my life situation. I'm not going out anymore every weekend. You know, I'm not at a club.
Yeah.
So this is why maybe the music on Mobily also changed a little bit from like club music to music that you can enjoy at home, in the car, on your headphones. Let's say a little bit more Spotify, less
Yeah.
Beatport, maybe. Yeah? And this, yeah,
I feel bad. I feel bad for Beatport. I have to say that everybody's putting them in such a category, you know, for being a club, only club music. All the music is released on Beatport. I
yeah.
guess not only clubbers consume music on Beatport. I'm guessing that's why.
I'm still very happy and proud. It's still very important for every release to enter the charts. Yeah, it's always like a
Of course.
very important reference for the success of of a release. Um, yeah, but of course, even Beatport knows that like downloading music, MP3s or WAVs, is coming to an end at one point. Yeah. Um,
If you don't have where to, manpower is laughing here. I don't feel bad for the company. It's a shop. It's a big shop. I don't, you know. Um, also them themselves, they're I would say taking a step to kill files, with using link and using this kind of subscriptions that you can just play any music directly from your CDJ and stuff like this. It's becoming to a point that, you know, I don't know. I think most artists will have to, in my head, I'm thinking about the club artists. They will have to sustain themselves. This is like a kind of Bandcamp situation, but they're gonna have to be. they're gonna have to say, okay, I'm gonna have to market myself directly. Otherwise I'm gonna be drowning in. That's what people are doing now. I'm drowning in a lot of other stuff.
Mm.
You know. No,
Yeah,
but what I
well,
was asking is, I think at one point is this is the one thing that I'm struggling or didn't struggle with at the same time is to become this kind of boxed. For example, when you say disco halal, a lot of people will say, "Oh, you have this kind of Middle Eastern sound, okay," and then you have this kind of indie dance kind of thing, and you have this and you have this, and I'll be honest, I don't have any of it. I mean, I've seen some of your latest releases. There's some of the people that released also on Disco Halal, and and they're releasing after Disco Halal and then a lot of other labels. I'm very grateful for that also, that I have the opportunity to help them, and especially also with this show that we have the opportunity to to listen to music that will start in a bit, and to be part of the creation of the music also. I don't know how much I'm guessing you're A&Ring most of the music yourself at this point.
mm,
And but I'm thinking, why do we need to compromise? Like you said before, like, if of course you have a partnership, I also have people that I work with in the label. I'm not, of course, I'm the biggest. I always say that I'm the biggest asshole in the label, because whatever, I'm gonna fight everybody to do what I want, but it doesn't mean that I'm getting away with it all the time. At the same time, I'm thinking that the musical direction, I always said one thing for the label, and all the interviews, it has it's coherent, and I've said it's the music that I like. It doesn't matter what. Only music that I like, from people that I appreciate and I care about. That's everything that I wrote.
yeah, it's quite easy. That totally makes sense. And in a way, it's very close to what I do. And the difference is, like, a few years ago we said, um, we are so the music needs to make me dance. Yeah,
Hmm.
that was our credo maybe for a long time. But now, and this is also, dance music it became mainstream in a way. Yeah, and we can be happy and proud about our
Almost.
success. Yeah, so an underground electronic music song can become a huge radio hit these days, easily, with a finger snap.
I
You know,
have to stop you and say almost. We
almost.
we were this close. I wouldn't be surprised if the major labels didn't do the Corona themselves. I wouldn't be surprised. We were this close to become from underground to not be underground anymore. It's in a 1-2 years. You've seen the way it goes, and the big names, from Solomon and everybody, where they are in the pop world, and kind of music and everything. We were this close to be consensus as music and not just club music.
Mm,
Now
yeah.
we reverted back to club music, and you can see it from the sales, and you can see from whatever the music, like you said, stuff that for Spotify, and I want to please this DSP and this DSP, and to put music like this, and you need to cut, and it's only 5 minutes. I'm the same. I'm not different than anybody else. I've thought about it also even before the Corona. Okay, things are changed in the world.
Mm.
At the same time, we need clubs for our music.
Of course,
There's
because
no
this is the most still the most important thing. This is the place for inspiration, where new things are happening, where people exploring new music, discovering new music. So there's no
yeah,
way around it. I also, don't get me wrong, I'm not making a move away from the dance floor or from the club environment. I'm just more open for
yeah,
other music. For example, when I speak, when I discuss with a release with my artists, I'm always trying to encourage them. To add a track that people don't expect from you. No, it's great to have this amazing tune. Works great for DJs, for clubs, open airs, whatever. But hey, we can add a second track, which doesn't compete with the first one, which just shows like a different side of you, like something that is maybe ambient, experimental, like some whatever. And
yeah,
most of the artists, they are trying out different things, but they are sometimes too shy to pitch this to a label,
yeah,
And so I made the experience that, like, most of the artists, they are super happy when I'm asking them for that,
yeah,
and then, like, speaking about the business side of it again, then we can like pitch this one track to Beatport and the other one to a Spotify playlist with I don't know, 2 million followers if it's
Yeah,
like something ambient or chill out.
yeah.
And I actually like this kind of music, and that's it.
If something I always led my life with musically, Moscow Man and Disco Halal, I've never tried to do club music. I always said it's dance floor oriented music.
Hmm.
It's music that you can listen to the dance floor, but I always send my mother the tunes. And if she doesn't like them, except the singles club that I've done that were pure club music, if she doesn't like the music, if she doesn't connect to it, it's not going to do well. Because I'm trying to do a broad kind of course, it's dance music, but
Hmm.
it's not for everybody. Not all DJs can play them, or can play it also. And it's not, of course, it's a very special kind of music. It's a very specialty. There is no patterns inside that you can kind of, okay, this will work exactly, except like I said, the singles club and the singles that I like to do, which are always changing. In any case, you want to hear the first track?
Yeah. Can we have your mom on the next A&R show?
Of course. What's the question? You always need to send music to people that you can trust, and they will tell you that it's not good.
Yeah. But
That's what I think.
yeah. So what? So you were talking about like underground and mainstream. I don't think in that categories anymore. I think this discussion is like
It's for me, it's
boring.
money or cool.
Yeah.
That's underground. That's mainstream. It's money. It's making money or just staying cool. A lot of people were able to make a lot of money from being cool also. But this was the clubs, and without the clubs, we're just cool. We will not make money out of it.
I think I wasted too much time in my life trying to be underground.
No, we're not trying.
No, it's really because
Well, we are.
it's what is that? What is that? You are always trying to be
But
like
people don't know you.
yeah, and it just doesn't make sense. Like just do what you want to do, and then either people like it or they don't like it, and like in the way we are distributing our music, the way we are promoting our music, and the way we are connecting with our people, I think that makes a difference because we are not pushing music to people, with millions of promotion dollars. Actually, the people are pulling the
Yeah.
music. And I think I don't know. I think that's the main difference. And then it doesn't matter what kind of content or what kind of music or style we're
Yeah,
producing.
we're not self-sustained. That's the difference. The real difference that, like you said, we depend on people to consume it, as opposed to we tell the people what to listen to. Exactly like you said. Well, let's see if we have something to consume ourselves as A&Rs. We still
Yeah,
like music.
that's why we're here.
Yeah, let's start with that.